Dustin. So this is Dustin Bellinger's 400 subscriber giveaway. And Dustin's got a really good topic for us all to think about. And, as I was watching this video, if you haven't watched it, you got to watch it. It's a little long, but it's really, really good. I say long because, like most of us, attention span is like 3 minutes. But, Dustin touched on some really important things. And, in life, we get caught up in collecting and the different things going on with our families and our jobs. And, your immediate family, in my opinion, as you start to get older, becomes, the priority. And so you're taking care of your wife and your kid or kids and your dog and all the stuff going on at your house with your job. And so, and all their activities, Boy Scouts, whatever. And so I feel like as you get older, you kind of take it for granted with your parents, or at least I have. I can't speak for everybody, but I can speak for me. And, it was really good to hear Dustin kind of talk about his father. And it reminded me that, I need to pause a little bit. And my dad and I talk on the phone pretty regularly, but we live about 4.5 hours apart. My dad's not a baseball card collector, so we don't have that in common, but he does collect. So he collects coins. So maybe that's where I got the heritage from, to want to collect something. But, one of the traditions that me and my dad have had for as long as I can remember, and we've got my son into it now, is we try to do a fishing trip every year. And we're not professional fishers by no means. This is go down to Surf City Pier in North Carolina, get a hotel, and I'm talking about a raggedy hotel room. Some of these places we stayed in, it was pretty rough. And we typically go October-ish, like right when it starts to get cold, because, my dad says that's when the fish run. And we sit down on the pier, as long as we can take it. And then we go get dinner and go back out there at night. And the night one's usually the pretty fun when we go out there. And if the fish are running, we'll stay till we can't, catch them anymore. And sadly, we've kind of skipped that, I think, last year. And, I got my son into it. And, it made me realize, there's been moments where I'm sitting out on that pier and I'm looking at my dad and my son there with me. And, it reminds me that, I've gone through some phases in my life where I've been out on that pier and I didn't really want to be there. I remember going on those trips with my dad, and sometimes I just, especially as a kid, I'm thinking more of when I was Bryson's age, 13, 14. That's just not where I wanted to be. But I did it. And I look back and I really cherish those times. So, Father's Day weekend's coming up. I think that's Dustin's, point with this. Don't take for granted your family that you have. And Dustin, I'm really sorry for your loss, man. I can't imagine, and it sounds like it was pretty sudden. And just to share a guilty thing I have with this anytime this happens, and I've been trying to analyze why I do this. I find myself sometimes when someone passes, I'm scanning the obituary or I'm watching the video, and I feel like my focus gets narrowed in on why, what happened, how did they die, right? And I've been trying to figure out, why do I do that? I mean, I'm just being honest, that's what I do. And I really think I have this thought that if I know how person X died, maybe I can do something differently for me or my family or the people around me. And the reality is some of this stuff is inescapable. I mean, if you've had a tragic car accident or a sudden heart attack, I mean, some of it it may be your time. And I don't know, I just thought I'd share that. I know that's way off topic, just going down the candy lane there. Sorry about that. But Dustin, if you need anything, brother, I'm here for you. I know everybody says that, but seriously, if you need someone to talk to, I'm probably not the best person. Actually, Big D for Life has probably got the most to offer you in a conversation like that. I remember when his father passed and his mom passed, and that was tough. I mean, I grew up next door to Scott and used to see his mom and dad every day, and it's sad for me to think. And I think about, most time when I think about Scott is on holidays. I think the holidays, if I were in your shoes or Scott's shoes, I think that's where it feels like it would be the toughest, because I always think about Scott. I'm always like, well, wow. I always call him. He never takes me up on it, but I'm like, hey, man, even when he was single, you want to come over for Thanksgiving or come over for Christmas dinner? He'd come over when he was single, but now he's got a family. He's not going to do that. But you kind of think of those holidays where all the family comes together and has a good dinner together to break bread and kind of enjoy each other's company. But appreciate the video response. Congratulations on 400, and I'm really sorry for your loss, Dustin. Peace.